Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. For those of you joining, I definitely appreciate your support and wanting to learn. By no means am I an expert on Google Business Profile, but it's something that I have worked on that has helped my business, and I'm continually working on it. Just with new AI and different things coming out, it's something that I'm constantly learning about, so I figured I'd share it with everyone in a class. So I'm going to go over briefly like Google Business Profile, um, so you get a view of what it is, how it shows up, and then go into a presentation on how to optimize it. And then I'm also going to leave you with a PDF like cheat sheet with class notes that you can take on after. Everybody's is going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about real estate, specifically how to show up. So I'm in incognito mode here just to kind of show you Google Best Realtor in New Braunfels, Texas. So these first ones are going to be sponsored. People are paying for these in Google local service ads or things like that. So, unless you're paying, you're not going to show up right here. The next ones, this is called your map pack. And so we'll be talking about map packs a little bit. I show up here, but in businesses, the first one that shows up is Keller Williams Heritage. They're an actual brokerage with hundreds of agents. So they have a little bit more money and to pay to get in this top spot by optimization, and they've just been around a long time. The Smart Team at Keller Williams is another one. It's the same brokerage. They have two different locations in town. Whitecart Realtors, they're downtown. So I click on more businesses. This is sponsored. So then right here we got one, two, three. I show up as the fourth business down. So we'll click on my profile and I have 248 pictures that I've posted. I have 67 reviews, which 67 five-star reviews. I have my address here, the areas that I serve. So there's multiple here. We'll be going over this. My hours, which I've heard mixed reviews on whether to have set hours or to have it 24/7. That's kind of up to you, but I think, 24/7 is what they say, so you're always open. My phone number, appointments, I have my calendar link here. So people can go book directly on my calendar. So it makes it easy access for people to reach out to me. Then I have products here. So different products like buyer and seller guides, free home valuation. I have different neighborhoods highlighted here. Just some different things. So we'll show you about products as well. Categories. My book's buyer, seller. So that's like the categories for products. Questions and answers. So you can create these. We'll be talking about that. Um, so then your profile, this is going to be something we talk about too, to have this fully optimized, as well as your updates and then your profiles, and then it has web results. So I put in best realtor, and I'm also going to do best real estate agent. And I pop up a little bit further down on this one. Well, let's see. One, two, three, four. It's about the same. So we also, part of what we're going to be talking about is answer engine optimization. A lot of us have heard about SEO, search engine optimization, but answer engine optimization and also algorithmic entity optimization. When you're going into ChatGPT, like I said, who is the best realtor in New Braunfels, Texas? And this is what kind of got me to create this class is like people are going on ChatGPT now and Perplexity and Google AI, Gemini, they're looking up these things. And so from who is the best real estate agent, best realtor, RJ Reyes, I've never actually even heard of him, but it says he's been in this 23 years. Neil and Neil team. They're with eXp Realty now. They're a big team. Kristen Schramm, Dayton Schrader, those are big agents with teams as well, I believe. So my goal is to, over the next few months, by doing all of these things and optimizing my profiles more, is going to be getting into this. When somebody asks ChatGPT who is the best agent in New Braunfels, I want to show up in this section. And then it said, it asked, do you want me to see who's the top for 25 and 26? And it still showed RJ, Neil and Neil team, Kristen Schramm, Dayton Schrader. So that's kind of why I came up with this class and did more research and trying to figure it out myself. Um, so this is what your profile is going to look like on your end. If you have not created one, we'll go through that. When you're creating your profile, they do have some verification steps that you have to do for your business. And if you choose to do a coverage area rather than your address, it's you're not going to show up on the map pack as easily if you're doing a coverage area. So I use my home address. I mean, you have to figure out what works best for you. I've seen some people who get a PO box office at the post office and they use that as the office, or if you have a brokerage office address you can use, but it that's just going to depend on what you're doing. And so here you have your edit profile, you have read reviews, add photos, posts, performance. This is something that I look at like over the last 6 months. Performance is could always be better, and that's something that I'm working on. But looking here at the search terms, like what are people searching and how are you showing up? So realtor, I show up 241 times, EXP Realty, EXP 78130 Realtor, EXP agents in New Braunfels. Then there's more, but they're less relevant. They're all under less than 15, but all of these are SEO related. So when you look at my name here, it's Yitzchak Pierson, Realtor. So Realtor showing up in SEO, EXP Realty showing up, New Braunfels, Texas is showing up. So I have those things in my name because I want them to show up. They are the answer for when people are Googling and searching for agents in my city. I'm showing up as Realtor. And then here I have knowledgeable real estate agent providing selling guidance for those looking. In this section, I have voted best real estate agent in New Braunfels for 24 and 25, represents buyers, sellers, investors across the New Braunfels Canyon Lake. So all of these words are words that I want to show up in my profile whenever somebody is searching so that Google is pointing them towards me. So now that we have a little bit better understanding of what your profile looks like to the public and what it looks like to you, we're going to jump into the presentation, and then you can reach out to me after. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Before I do, I'm going to drop the cheat sheet into the chat before I forget so that y'all will have the cheat sheet. All right. All right, and then there's a downloadable PDF in the chat that y'all can download that'll kind of just go over what we talk about in this presentation. Okay, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Yitzchak Pierson. I'm a realtor and broker here with eXp Realty in New Braunfels, Texas. So we're going to walk through a step-by-step how to build and optimize your Google business profile using SEO and then AEO, which is answer engine optimization, as well as algorithmic entity optimization. I'm going to explain what those are. Your Google business profile is basically your digital resume. It's your storefront for credibility and your discoverability on the internet. So we want to build it correctly, and when it's built correctly, it becomes one of the highest converting lead sources in real estate or for any business that you're trying to grow and get out there. So, Google is the first place consumers go when researching for real estate professionals. So, your profile, it influences your local search ranking under terms such as best realtor near me, the map pack, which is what I showed you, and then AI generated recommendations. So, also, Google has like a section now when you Google your name, it gives you an AI summary, and it's pulling a lot of that information from your Google business profile, from your website, everything out there. So you want it to be optimized. Same with ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, all of those things are pulling the information that you have listed out there. So it helps with your perception, your credibility, and your trust. Nearly 70% of real estate decisions begin online. So you want to have a complete and optimized Google business profile. It gives you a competitive advantage and it compounds over time. So mine has been up for almost 4 years now, and it's been I've done a lot of it on my own. At one point, I had some trouble with Google reviews, which is if you send your review link to a bunch of people and ask for a bunch of reviews that aren't necessarily from clients, there could be Google can flag it as like against community guidelines. So I've found ways around that where I send my like Google Maps profile to my clients, the link to the Google Maps profile, and I let them find the review link themselves organically rather than sending the review link to them. I've just had better luck with that. So I have hired somebody in the past to help with some of my Google optimization and getting those reviews to come through again. So you can do a lot of it on your own, but there's a certain point if you're having trouble and you're at a place in business where you have the financial ability to hire somebody else who's good with Google, you can also go that route. But this presentation is to help you do it yourself and get to the level you're comfortable with. So today we're focusing on three pillars. The SEO, which most of us know, search engine optimization. It makes your profile rank higher in Google search and in the maps. Then the answer engine optimization. So this is structuring your information so that the AI tools like ChatGPT, Google AI, Zillow AI, now for us realtors, this is really what got me looking into this is Zillow is now in ChatGPT. And so when buyers are searching, they're going to ChatGPT and they're saying, "Hey, find me a house that has no HOA." And so Zillow and ChatGPT are now searching you, and so that's part of why answer engine optimization is so important now because our buyers are going to ChatGPT rather than going to Zillow because Zillow is now part of ChatGPT. So voice assistants too, they all extract and use all of this information as answers for what the buyers are asking. And then entity optimization. So this is ensuring Google understands who you are, what you do, and where you operate so it can match your profile to the relevant local searches. So those are the three things that we're kind of going to be talking about. So the first step is making sure you have full ownership of your profile. You can go to business.google.com to claim your profile if you haven't done one. You can look up YouTube videos specifically on how to set up your Google business profile. So this is more so a class catered toward after you already have one. So you can definitely go back and set it up and optimize it after you've created one. And like I said, you want to use your legal name as it pertains to your real estate license. You want to use the identical spelling across all platforms to strengthen your entity identity. So like on my Facebook, I have Yitzchak Pierson Realtor EXP Realty in New Braunfels, Texas. Like you want to have the same across all platforms so that Google's pulling all the information relevant to you. And then your business name should reflect your professional identity. This is critical for entity recognition. Keep your brokerage included to comply with law. Use consistent formatting across all platforms. And I personally get referrals from other EXP agents from all over the world. I have some from Canada, from California, Ohio, because when they have a buyer or a seller who's looking in my market, they go in and they Google EXP agents in New Braunfels, Texas. And so that's one of the reasons I have EXP in there as well as for other EXP agents or agents trying to switch brokerages. I'm one of the top agents in my market for my brokerage. So that's one of the reasons I have that name in there too. And as in Texas, you're supposed to always list the brokerage that you're with, and it gives you more credibility as well when, especially like the Keller Williams Heritage, a lot of agents use their credibility from their profiles to leverage, and they use the same address as their offices and stuff like that. So your categories tell Google what you do. Think of categories as your SEO foundation. So they are directly affect which searches you appear in. So yeah, you'll want to select real estate agent as your primary category. That helps maximize your visibility. Utilize the tools, whether it's residential or commercial real estate. You want to niche it down as much as possible so that you're able, if you're doing both, that's great, but if you're doing residential, choose residential real estate so that you're popping up when people are searching for residential real estate. Avoid irrelevant categories. So we'll dive a little bit deeper into that. You don't want to put things that aren't. I don't do rentals, so I don't put rentals on my category. I do buy or sell, so make sure that nobody's searching and I'm not coming up for when people are looking for rentals. So you want to add your 10 service areas, 10 to 15 service areas. So that's where when you looked at my profile, it was like I serve New Braunfels, Canyon Lake, Seguin, Schertz, Cibolo, San Marcos, Converse, Spring Branch, Kyle, Buda. I don't really do San Antonio or Austin. I'll refer that business out. So I don't want people reaching out to me from there. I want to be hyper local, and that's what's helped me in my business is I used to do a broader range, and when I focused on hyper local, my market, I got better results from doing that. So Google also sees your service areas. So when people are searching agents in Canyon Lake or Seguin, I also pop up, but I'm not going to pop up as easily for San Antonio or Austin because I don't put any of that in my SEO. And then this section directly affects the SEO and the AEO. So this is where I put I did like a 750 character is what the limit is. So you can help ChatGPT, have ChatGPT help you come up with your bio, and you can tell it exactly, look, I'm trying to have an SEO and AEO optimized Google business profile description. You can get as niche down as you want with it, and then so like mine is Yitzchak Pierson is a broker associate and residential real estate professional in New Braunfels, Texas, recognized for best real estate agent in New Braunfels for 2024 and 2025. He represents buyers, sellers, and investors across New Braunfels, Canyon Lake, with over 900 hours of advanced real estate education. So all of these words are popping up in that description where when Google's going and looking at profiles, they're pulling all of that information. It says that I have multiple professional designations. I have detailed market guidance, new construction expertise, and structured support throughout the real estate process. So that's another area that Google's looking at in the large language models, ChatGPT are all looking at. You want to upload high quality photos. So sometimes the more photos you upload, Google, for me, I found that it chooses which ones it puts as your cover photo. You can still select cover photo, but it doesn't always last. I don't know if that's just a problem I have or if other people have it, but You want to upload a headshot. You want to upload sold listings, coming soon listing photos, community photos, events, realtor awards. Google wants active local professionals. So treat it like a social media profile, just like you would with your Facebook or your Instagram or your LinkedIn. Put Google Business Profile in your SOPs for when you go do your normal posting. You can post the same things on those platforms. A lot of places you can link it. There's platforms where you can link all of your social medias. If you're with EXP, we have Lofty, and Lofty allows you to link your social media profiles, and then you can click and post from one. So that's definitely something to reduce the amount of time that it takes you to do it. But upload photos, make sure they're high quality. You can even go a step further and geotag those photos, which is like showing the location. I'm sure there's a YouTube video on geotagging your Google business profile. That just it puts more blueprints, more footprints on the ground of where you're at in your market so that Google reads that as well. The Google Post. So again, it's treating it like a social media platform. You want to post weekly content, community involvement, listings, client wins. Even if you get your Google reviews, take those Google reviews and turn them into pictures using Canva, and then post those pictures so you have the Google reviews. So when people look at images, those are showing up. You also take and post those same Google reviews on your social media profiles as pictures so that you're cross sharing. Local news, different, you can do blog posts. And if you have a blog on your website and then you put those in your post update with a link back to your website, so that's always good. You link your website, you post things that have links that take them back to your website. So the goal is to get them into your CRM. And so whatever you can do that leads them back to your website from your Google business profile, and there's called backlinks, which is something that like the Google person I hired, she created a bunch of backlinks through blogs and stuff like that. Educational content, whether it'll allow you post videos. Be careful on the post. You can't put your contact information in the picture or the body of the post. They have buttons that you can put to say learn more, and you can put a URL link, or you can have a call button, but Google will flag it if you try and put your contact information in the body of the post or in the picture of the post. So just keep that in mind. But all of these increase impressions and they reinforce your authority for your market. Uh, Always try to get reviews. So like after I complete um a deal, I send out a client review link, and like I said, I give the review link to my map, and I even tell them you can use ChatGPT to help you come up with a review link, a review email template. But I say, hey, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your home buying journey. I really would love if you could share a testimonial. Here's my Google business link, and I even will like preference. Here's some past reviews from clients that get their juices flowing of they read what somebody else has posted and it has keywords. You can even explain, hey, for SEO for my business, like it would really help if you said that you bought a home, or you can prime them as much as you want to. If they had a good experience, they're going to write a review, but it's more targeted if you tell them what type of SEO words to use or give them examples of the type of post that you want them to post, and then they'll make it their own. But that's a good way to get reviews. Respond to every review. Like I said, make sure they use keywords in the responses, spread reviews over time, never incentivize reviews. I mean, this is give or take. I've heard from some agents, it's like they do a call to the person and they ask if they've had a good experience or not, if they'd be willing to share. And then if they've had a bad experience, they send them a gift basket or something and say, hey, I'm sorry your experience wasn't that great. Here's something sweet for you. And then they don't ask for the review, but it's less likely that that person's going to leave them a bad review. So there's different strategies around reviews, but I've never incentivized it or given like gift cards or anything for it. I just ask and I'm a more persistent. You can, people get busy and they forget. So you can do follow-up emails of, hey, just wanted to see, I know we get busy. Just wanted to see if you had some time to leave me a quick review. Just follow up once a month or something, or give them a call. It's a good time to call and check in with your clients. And then the question and answer section. So this is one of the most underused features. You can add your own questions. So that's not, it's like I use ChatGPT to come up with, give me questions as a real estate agent for my Q&A section of Google Business Profile. It says, how does buying new construction work? And then you write the answer, or you use ChatGPT, make it your own, put your own flair on it. But those Q&As are things that people can go look at before they reach out to you. Just like frequently asked questions, a lot of us will go to those frequently asked questions pages on people's website. So, what areas do you serve? What should a seller be doing before listing? The answer engines extract this information directly, so you want to have that section filled out on your Google Business Profile. And then adding the services and attributes to your Google Business Profile. So you want to say, I do buyer representation, I do seller representation, new construction, investment properties, relocation, VA representation. Clear services help AI match your profile to the user intentions. So there's a whole services section in the Google Business Profile that you'll want to fill out. And then AEO, we talked about this. So it's optimizing the profile so that when someone asks who is the best realtor in New Braunfels, who helps buyers relocate to Texas, who specializes in new construction, your profile becomes the answer that Google or ChatGPT pulls from. So AEO, it prioritizes factual content, structured information, and consistent terminology. So keep that in mind when you're setting up your profile. These new large language models are looking for these things. Again, entity optimization. So this ensures that Google understands you are a real estate professional. They know your name, your brokerage affiliation, your market, your specialties, your experience, your awards, your authority. The clearer your identity, the more often your profile appears in relevant searches. And then continuous improvement. So to maintain ranking in and visibility, post weekly, add photos weekly, keep services areas updated, update description annually, respond to all reviews, use consistent branding, monitor insights regularly, and add Q&A entries monthly. So you can track performance just like I showed you, where I went and looked at what things are being searched, what searches I'm showing up in, the website clicks, direction requests, discovery versus direct searches, photo engagement. These all reveal how well your Google Business Profile is performing over time. So go look at your analytics, at least weekly, monthly for sure. And then when optimized, a Google Business Profile becomes a powerful lead generator, a credibility booster, a trust indicator, and a top performing ranking asset. It's one of the highest ROI digital tools for real estate agents, and it's free. So that's one of the coolest things. I have got direct business from my Google Business Profile, and it's just part of your overall digital resume. When I go look for an agent, the first thing I do is I go see what their internet presence they have online. So claim your profile. These are your action items, and they'll be in the PDF that I dropped into the chat for everybody. I hope you got it. If you didn't get it, let me know and I'll drop it again. But you want to update your name and your categories. You want to add your service areas. You want to paste the optimized description after you get that from ChatGPT, 750 characters. Go upload at least 20 photos or more. do 3 Q&A entries, post once per week, and request your next 5 reviews. If you have clients out there, you can just follow up with them and say, hey, I know I never got a review. I just got my Google business profile set up, or I'm working to, increase my online presence. Go ask for those reviews. People are willing to give them. And like I said, you can follow up and say, hey, I know we get busy. Hey, it would really help me out. Is there anything I can do for you? Or if they own their own business, you can ask them if you can go give them a Google business review of their own. So, in conclusion, your Google business profile is a powerful digital resume. By implementing SEO, AEO, and entity optimization, you strengthen your presence online, improve visibility, and position yourself as an authority in your local market. So thank you all for being on this call. I know that was a lot of information. These calls are made to be about 30 minutes, so we're right at time, but all of you should have my information. If you have any further questions or just need some more understanding, I'm always here. I'm going to be doing these bi-weekly to start with, different classes every other week, and then I may go do more than that. Hopefully you got a lot of great value from this. So thank you all for being here, and I hope you have a great day.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.